going to be moving through a practice to help you feel centered. Those times that your mind feels scattered, or maybe you just feel like you're moving in a million different directions, to bring it to your mat and just kind of focus inward for a little while.
Sounds good.
So we'll get started in child's pose. Dropping the knees wide, connect your big toes to meet behind you, and then stretch your arms out really long in front of you. Allow your upper body to drop towards your mat. And really drop everything here. I always think child's pose is such a good invitation to let go of whatever you had going on before or whatever you have to do later. And to bring your attention to your mat. Begin to slowly deepen your breath, long, slow inhales filling up, deep exhales emptying out. With each inhale, pause at the top of that breath in, and with each exhale, pause at the bottom of the breath out. See if you can really create an awareness that you don't normally have around your breath. And becoming curious there. Set an intention to be centered. Take a deep breath in, fill up. Exhale, empty out. With an inhale, draw forward to a tabletop position. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Bring your hips over your knees. Draw your belly button in and up and create a long spine here. With your next exhale, round through your back body, creating that Halloween cat shape. And then with an inhale, draw forward, gaze up, moving into cow. Good. Each exhale, rounding, and each inhale, opening. Really take your time here. See if you can slow down the movement. Lengthen your breath. Again, letting go of kind of that monkey mind, those zillions of thoughts going at that fast pace. See if you can set a different pace here. And then come back through center, come back to your tabletop. And just kind of start to wag it from side to side. So as you go towards the right, gaze over your left shoulder. As you go towards the left, gaze over your right shoulder. And just taking your hips from side to side, waving through your spine, awakening through your neck. And then making your way back through center. Tuck your toes under and stretch back into child's pose again. This time feeling a nice deep stretch through the bottoms of your feet. So this can be a little bit intense. Just find that spot that feels good but isn't too much here. And again, breathe into it. Notice if you're tensing through your forehead, through your shoulders, through your neck, relax that space.
I think one thing too is if you focus on your toes and you focus on your breath, that's all we're asking. Just stay right there. And that's going to give you enough focus anyway. It'll bring you inward.
Come back through center, back to your tabletop. And then tuck your toes under once more and come back to downward facing dog. This time starting to stretch out through your heels, pedaling out through your entire foot, bending through your knees as you take your hips from side to side. Create stillness in the pose, feet coming to hip width distance. Gaze going towards the back edge of your mat. And so even though you're not looking at your hands, bring your awareness to your hands. Really press down firmly through your palms, through your base knuckles at the bottom of each finger. Ripping through your fingertips, take a deep deep breath in and an exhale out. Bring your gaze towards your hands. Walk your feet through and come into ragdoll at the top edge of your mat. Feet staying at about hip width distance. Grab for opposite biceps. Bend your knees really generously here, allowing your chest to wrap over your thighs. And then this time, bring your awareness to your feet. Feel the four corners of your feet meeting your mat. You suction down into your mat through that space. And then relax any gripping through your toes. Really strong legs here, supporting your upper body so that your upper body can drape forward like a waterfall. If it feels good, gently sway from side to side. Shake out your head, loosen through your neck. Wiggle through your jawline. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release your hands down. Take your hands to interlace at your low back. And with an inhale, reach those interlaced fingertips up towards the ceiling. And with your exhale, let your head drop heavy. Breath in. Exhale, release your hands down. Take your left hand in front of your feet. With an inhale, reach your right hand high towards the ceiling. Bend through your left knee here, straighten through your right leg. And press the crown of your head forward. Good. Breath in. Exhale, fold. Taking it to the other side, your right fingertips stay planted. Your left hand reaches high. Create length all the way from your tailbone through the top of your head. Reach your left fingertips just a little bit higher. Breathe in and fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Fold, exhale out. Halfway lift. Fold. With an inhale, slowly roll up through standing. Reach your arms up and overhead. Take your gaze up. Bring your gaze to one spot. Press down firmly through your feet. Stand tall through your legs without locking your knees here. And draw your shoulder blades down and back. Feel your belly button drawn towards your spine. Breathe in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Tuck your chin in towards your chest. So your forehead is meeting your index fingers. Your thumbs meeting your heart. You can feel breath moving through your body here. Take a second to scan through your body. Notice if there are areas where you can relax. Notice if there are areas where you can engage. Bring your focus here now. With your next inhale, reach your arms back up high. Exhale, fold forward all your breath out. Halfway lift, flat back. Step back, high plank position. Now hold in high plank, option to lower or keep your knees lifted. Draw back through your heels. Press forward through your head. Gaze is at one spot. Good. With your next inhale, shift forward onto your tiptoes and exhale, chaturanga, elbows in. Inhaling to up dog or cobra, open up. And with your exhale, send your hips back, downward facing dog.
So what we're really looking for is mindfulness, like being aware of every little movement, every inhale and exhale, what you're looking at softly. And that's enough to bring you here and to center you and ground you in this one place. So with that in mind, lift your right leg to the sky, bend, stack, open your hip, and bring your drishti, your gaze, to your left thigh. Lift your right knee higher. Become aware of the toes on your right foot. Spread them wide. And then step them forward to your right hand, warrior one. Press down, hug in, come up. And take these next couple breaths to settle into this pose. Pressing into your feet, hugging up into your core, reaching your fingertips high, hands to your mat. Paint the wall in front of you. Downward facing dog. Lift your left leg to the sky. Drishti to your right thigh. Hands, awareness of your hands pressing into your mat. And your knee reaching high away from your hands. Bring your knee in towards your chest, step it through. Warrior one, left side. If your thoughts start to leave this space, what you're doing right now, just come back.
And by if, when.
I was going to say,
when it happens.
It's universally going to happen. Reach up and back a little bit. Paint your hands forward. Watch your hands reach for your mat. Downward facing dog. Drishti between your feet. Step or fly to your hands. Come up halfway. Fold and have a seat, Utkatasana. We're going to build this pose from the ground up. So press into your heels. Lift and separate your toes. Draw your knees back over your ankles and sit a little bit lower. With your inhale, reach higher. With your exhale, sit lower. Inhale higher. Exhale lower. Inhale higher. Exhale, fold. Watch your hands. Touch your mat. Take a big breath in as you halfway lift and come into a high plank. Shift your weight forward. Low plank, grazing your elbows along your ribs. Upward facing dog, pressing into the tops of your feet, drawing your heart through towards the front of the room. Pressing into your hands, lifting your crown of your head. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Big breath in. Watch the space where you're holding that breath. Big breath out. Start paying attention to the pause, like Kate mentioned, the pause between your inhales and your exhales, and you'll find that magical spot where things start to slow down a little bit for you. Right foot forward again, this time into a crescent lunge. Draw your hands to heart center. Reach your left arm forward. Reach your right arm back and open up to the right wall. Press into your back toes. Press into your front heel, the four corners of your front foot. Open your fingers wide. Draw your shoulder blades together. And this is now you found your pose. So we're going to stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, stay for 1. Reach your arms back up to the sky and take your flow or make your way back to downward facing dog. Left leg to the sky, step it through, crescent lunge. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. Bring your hands to heart center. Right hand reaches forward, left hand reaches back. Build it from the ground up. Whoa. Press into your feet. Hug your thighs towards each other. Open up your arms. Now you're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, stay for 1, come back through, and take your flow. Downward facing dog. Step and fly through your hands, come onto your back. Set up for bridge. Really press into your feet. This is a place where I think sometimes people check out. You can easily check out in bridge. So instead of doing that, let's draw the elbows in towards your ribs. Open your hands wide. Really press into your upper arms. Draw your shoulder blades together. And then pressing through your feet, lift your hips. And then just energetically draw your inner thighs towards each other to lift your hips a little bit higher. And we're going to stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. Hug your knees into your chest. And then open up your legs for happy baby. Grab the outside of your feet. Stay here or rock side to side. Draw your knees closer to your armpits. Draw your belly button down into your mat. Relax your shoulders. Set your drishti or close your eyes. And really feel this pose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see, let's go ahead and rock up to a seat. And then take your right leg over your left for shoelace. Now, if this doesn't work for you, it might work better if you lie back. Same pose, just grab your feet as you lie back. If that doesn't work, take figure 4 with your right leg over your left. This is a really good pose to become grounded. So really sit into your hips. And then really, as you're sitting deeply into your mat, lift your chest, lift the crown of your head, get really tall. Kate's going to show you the modification. So that's good. And you can actually lie back and do figure 4, yeah, if you like. So either way, she's just choosing that modification and still finding all that length. And actually, probably would have been a good idea for me because my knees aren't really stacked, but good enough. Now, notice the sensation in your hips, especially your right hip. And see if you can pay attention to that sensation and invite it to increase. And notice how getting centered and grounded and inviting that sensation to increase might make it just a little bit better. Accepting what's happening rather than fighting it, just being here now. And that's long enough. So go ahead and change sides. And again, I'll show you the lying down version because that feels really good.
And it might feel different on this side too, so if it was too intense to take that first pose on the other side, it might be possible on this side. Each side feels a little bit different, so kind of play around with it.
Yeah, it's your body, it's your practice. It doesn't have to look like you think you want it to look. You just want to feel the sensations that we're after. And right now we're after noticing and accepting and allowing. And notice how when you can take that off your mat, when you start to just, instead of being all scattered and flying around trying to do everything, when you settle into doing one thing, and you really watch whatever you're doing, just staying right there, being mindful of what you're doing right there in that moment, how much things can become more joyful, I think.
Well, and I always feel like the chaos on the outside creates a feeling of chaos on the inside. So if I feel like I'm like scattered doing a million things, I feel like that inside my body too.
Right.
And it's a really unsettling feeling. So if you can kind of create time to come back to one thing, to come back to your breath, to come back to focus, it can create a really nice centered feeling.
And really, if you're living, come on up into a seated forward fold. If you're living in the moment that you're in, everything's, for me, it's doable.
Yeah.
Your knees can be bent here. If they're bent, it's nice to take your arms underneath or a block or a pillow or something and just let your legs relax a little bit. You want to really draw yourself up out of your hips and forward. Nice long side body. Talk about a pose that's really meant to calm you and keep you here. This one will do it for you. Let's slide back down on our backs again and come into Supta Baddha Konasana. Now this pose might be as centering as anything we have. You can put your one hand on your heart, one hand on your chest. Allow your legs to fall open. Press your feet together. Allow your toes to fall open. And then sometimes I like to press my hands down and just lift my hips and send them forward a little bit, just to get a little more length in the low back. It's almost a Savasana feeling. Go ahead and draw your knees together and just plant your feet wide, bring your knees to touch. Take your arms out to a T and let your legs fall to the left. Keep your shoulder blades pinned on your mat. Either close your eyes or set your drishti softly at the ceiling. Whenever we're in classes teaching, we both notice that this is where people tend to stop paying attention to long, slow, deep breaths. Keep that going. Come back to center. And inhaling and exhaling deeply, watching for that pause at the top and bottom of your breath. Keep those long, slow breaths going. Allow your breath to help you to unwind a little bit here.
And take it to the other side.
Literally. Yeah, if you're not there already, and I didn't say it maybe. Maybe. Savasana.
If you have time to stay and breathe and be here, we'd invite you to do that. And if you're ready to move about your day, go ahead and draw one knee in towards your chest, join the other to meet it, and roll onto your right side. Just pause here for a moment, using your right bicep to support your head. Acknowledging yourself, noticing how you feel. And either maintaining that intention of finding centering or creating a new intention for the rest of your day. With that in mind, press to a seated position, sit up nice and tall. Keep your eyes closed here. Bring your hands to meet at heart center. Draw your shoulder blades down and back. Take a deep breath in, fill up. Exhale, empty out. Bringing hands to meet at forehead center. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with us. Namaste.
Namaste. And a shout out and a happy birthday to my baby sister Susan, who is one of our subscribers.